Boys, we've done it. Finally, we've done it. Big round of applause, boys. We have our first female watcher. What's going on, guys and girl? Welcome back to the unofficial tribe. Today I have a great video for you guys. Today we're going to be looking at my friend's first drafts, and this trophy actually comes from our little league that we have between my friends. And and obviously your boys won it, you know, just the bastion of FPL knowledge. Before we get into the video, I just want to say I've started a Twitter account, so you can follow me at FPL_tribe. And yeah, there it is, right there, guys. Just, you know, put that in Twitter, give me a follow, I'd appreciate it a lot. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the tribe. It's free, it costs nothing, and you can always change your mind. Like I've said in previous videos, if we reach 1,000 before the season begins, I will get my hair cut like Phil Foden. So yep, the ball is in your court, guys. Get to subscribing. Without any further ado, let's just get straight into my friend's shit drafts. The first draft that we are going to be looking at today comes from Mr. JIRAN. Now, looking at this team, it's quite frankly a madness. He has two midfielders. He's gone for a 5-2-3 formation. The pros that I can take from this team is he's gone three up front with Calvert-Lewin, Antonio and Watkins. He's also gone for the premium midfield options in Salah and Fernandes. Now, where this team falls short is I think he's gone too heavy at the back. He's got 5 defenders, and you know, I think this is putting a lot of strain on his team. Because he's gone heavy at the back, he only has 2 good midfield options, and I think, you know, we want to sort of go into the season having a little bit of flexibility. It's always good to be able to bring in players that are doing well and managers are bringing them in. It helps for tempo and it helps for value. So going into the season, if Jota is nailed on and he's starting, it's going to be very difficult for him to bring Jota into his team. Now, I think an easy fix for this team is just downgrade Ruben Diaz to a 4.5 and maybe put a mid-range midfielder slot into his team. You could go for Rafinha, you could go James, you could go Maddison. There's a lot of great options. All in all, this is a solid team. It's not the worst team that I've seen. It's what I'd like to refer to as a very stressed team, where it's not that flexible. It's kind of very rigid. It's very hard to make moves if you want to. I think the score is an unofficial tribe rating of, let's give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think that is kind of fair for this team. Up next, we have Bryce Baker's team, and honestly, I think he could put players on a wall and just randomly throw darts and come up with a better team than this. Where do we even begin to just absolutely berate this team? It is terrible, guys. I mean, he's gone for Kepa at the back. That is mental. We all know Mendy is more than likely going to start. Kepa is just honestly not an option. Yeah, and from there, it doesn't get much better, guys. I mean, he's got Virgil van Dijk at the back. Why not just go with Robertson or Trent, you know? Why go for Virgil van Dijk? Yes, it's a cheaper way into the Liverpool defense, but with good fixtures, we should be targeting those attacking output wing-backs that Liverpool have. I mean, the rest of the defenders, they seem alright. He's got Fofana and Lamptey, good options. Williams on the bench, not sure about that. I don't think he starts unless he gets transferred or loaned. They're moving into the midfield. He's only got one premium option. He's got Salah, probably the best redeeming quality about this team. Grealish, again, you guys know my opinions on Grealish. If you're not sure what my opinions are, you can watch my previous video where I speak about the top 15 most owned players. He's got Pogba, again, not sure why you just wouldn't go Fernandes. Pogba, not really, you know, he's an alright option, but he's not that standout FPL option that we're all going to be looking to bring into our teams. He's got Havertz. Havertz is a good choice, you know, I can't knock him. He doesn't have the best fixtures, and I'd rather wait to bring Havertz in. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. And up front, he's gone for Kane. You know, Kane and Salah's fixtures don't really rotate nicely for captaincy. Not sure if I personally would go for Kane. Kane's very expensive as well, classified as a forward. He's 12.5 million, which is very expensive for a forward. And then he's gone for Daka, the new Leicester signing. Again, not sure if he's going to be starting. It seems like Leicester have brought in Daka as a sort of backup striker in case Vardy gets injured, because Vardy is, you know, very injury prone. He's getting late on in his career, and Leicester are going to be looking to build a squad beyond Vardy. On the bench, he's got João Pedro. Honestly, I don't think João Pedro is the worst pick. He's very cheap. He's a good bench fodder. A little bit expensive for bench fodder, but he is still good. And if people transfer out Ivan Toney and they want to put money somewhere else, they will probably go down to João Pedro. Moving on, we're going to be looking at Liam Anderson's team, and wow, has he gone differential. He's got Henderson at the back, he's got Target, he's got James, and he's got Tierney. He's got Mahrez in the midfield, he's got Greenwood, he's got Pepe, and he's got Mane. And then up front, he's got Wilson, Vardy, and Calvert-Lewin. I think Calvert-Lewin is the only option here that is above 10% owned. So yeah, it looks like he's just trying to go as differential as possible. And guys, it is a very dangerous game to go as differential as possible, because there's a reason that some of these players are highly owned. It's because they are good. They are the best options for those teams. You know, just taking one case out of this team, for example, you would rather go Salah than Mane, because Salah is on penalties, and to supplement your open play goals with penalties is just, it's proven in FPL. It works really well. That's why we go for Fernandes. That's why we go for Salah. Vardy up front, honestly, I don't mind that at all. I think, you know, he is a little bit expensive. Vardy is just one of those players who's fixture proof. You can have him whenever and he will tick along the points. I think he's a little bit expensive for me. He is more of an option that I'd like to go for later on in the season if we know that he's going through good form and good fixtures. In Calvert-Lewin and Wilson, besides him, honestly, I don't mind that at all. Wilson's a great player. He's proven. He does score points. I'm not too sure about Newcastle's fixtures, but yeah, not bad. And then Calvert-Lewin, obviously, Everton have great fixtures. So yeah, not bad. Would probably, if I had to rate this team, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. You can see there's inklings of a good team in the making, but yeah, just going too differential really does, you know, cut your team down a bit. Then the last team that we're going to be looking at today is Matthew Schonenberg. Honestly, I like this team. You can tell he's got that good balance of going differential and also going with key players that are highly owned. The defense for me, I really like. Shaw might not start, but I'm sure he's aware of this. He might go for Wan-Bissaka instead. I do think we do want to go for a United defender. He's got James at the back. Honestly, I like James as a player. I think I would rather have him when there are better fixtures. I think when we are looking at these attacking players, you do want to target the fixtures primarily. I think that's a big factor when we look at these attacking players. So James, good pick. Maybe I'd bring him in a little bit later. He's got the two premium midfield options in Salah and Fernandes. Perfect. I don't think we should stray away from that. I think going into the season, that is our best route to take. He's got Ward-Prowse. Southampton, I don't think have the easiest fixtures, but Ward-Prowse is a good player. He's on set pieces, so he always has that threat of getting those assists or even scoring those goals. And then he's got Jarrod Bowen. We're not sure if Jarrod Bowen's going to get transferred to Liverpool, so we'll just have to keep our ears to the ground. Otherwise, Jarrod Bowen, he's not a bad option. But if he does get transferred to Liverpool, I think there's a huge possibility that he'll be on the bench for most games. Up front, he's got Watkins and he's got Iheanacho. Honestly, perfect options up front. So if I had to rate this team, I like it. I think it would be an 8 or 7.5 out of 10 for me. Anyway guys, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it entertaining. If you did, please subscribe to the tribe. Again, it's free, it costs nothing, and you can always change your mind. Hopefully this video gave you a little bit of insight into different players, different teams, you know, different options to go for. And as always, that is all from me. Cheers.